Hey y'all, welcome back to InDFlix. This is your girl India, and I know it's been a while, but listen here. We are officially back. The Islanders have landed in Fiji. So your girl is back with the content. I'll be bringing you those daily videos of these Love Island recaps that I know y'all love oh so much. If you are new here, you want to stay here. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give your girls a like and let's talk in the comments, all right? Because I just have a feeling this season, I don't know if it's going to be able to compare with the last, but we already starting off good. Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 1 just dropped, and honestly, the producers wasted absolutely zero time. We got couples, red flags, bombshells, kissing games, of course, and people claiming connections after making eye contact for approximately, 7 minutes? So let's break down everything that happened. So this season, we have the girls entering in the villa first. We're introduced to five girls. Now, I don't know if y'all been reading, the blogs of what's been going on, but there was supposed to be a sixth girl. And that didn't happen because like prior seasons we've seen before, you run your mouth, you say things you're not supposed to say, you get kicked off the island. Sure didn't even make it to the airport. But let's get into the ladies that did actually make it. We have Anaya Harvey, who is 23. I believe she's from Georgia. She also has a father. Her father is a former NBA player. So that's her little tidbit. We have Beatrice Hatz. She's 25. She's from San Diego. And this girl has won a bronze medal in the long jump at the Paris Paralympics. So she is the first, I think, at least known disabled castmate on this season. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. Not only from how it may go with dating in the villa, but also just the fans and their response to that. But we're gonna root for her. We also have Kenzie. She is Kinsey Anna. She's 24. She's also from Georgia. And Kinsey is a nurse and a nanny. And this girl, I don't know about y'all, brought so much energy. I almost wanted to tell her to relax. She needed to relax a lot. And I get it. It's day one. We're excited, but just relax your face, baby girl. You got a long 6 weeks ahead of you. And then we also had Melanie Monroe. Moreno, I'm sorry. She's 24. She's from Philadelphia, but she now currently lives in Los Angeles and she manages a bikini store. And I'm going to be honest, I took a look at that child. I ain't see nothing Philly about her. Didn't hear a Philly accent nowhere. I was like, Philly where and how long was she there? But she seems cool so far. She's another, you know how they get. They're so bubbly and excited. And these girls are young. Like young. But that's not the youngest. We have a 22-year-old this season. Fresh baby. She has to be fresh out of college. And I hope they don't eat her alive. That's Trinity. Trinity is from, I believe, Georgia as well, or Texas. I know she's from the South. But she's really young. She said she's here to look for a husband. I don't know about y'all, but at me at 22, I wasn't thinking about no husband then. But hey, to each his own. So all the girls got together. They got to mingle. You usually see this on Love Island. The girls are usually there first. Then the guys come in and they get to do their pickings. Then we have our hostess with of the mostest, Ariana Maddox. This look, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Before the episode actually started, I was excited to see Ariana. I'm like, oh, she about to put them fits on. I don't know what this was. Y'all tell me in the comments. Was y'all feeling this look? Like, I don't know if it's because, these past few seasons, actually since Vanderpump, honestly, I'm used to her being a blonde. The brunette, it's not working for me. That's just my personal opinion. But she comes in She greets the ladies. We get some ideas of why they apply to the show. Again, these are all maybe young, yeah, they're young 20, like they're not even mid 20. We have what, the 22-year-old Trinity. We have the Melanie's 24, Kenzie's 24, okay, Beatrice is 25, and Anaya's 23. And apparently they all here to find a husband. So child, we gonna see. All right, now that we know the girls, let's talk about the men entering the villa, because this group already feels like a mix of sweet guys, walking red flags, and just future reality TV chaos. So we have Casey. He's 25 and he's from Arizona. So Casey says he's a nurse's assistant, but the job description he gives made me think of CNA. But look, I may be ignorant, and they could mean the same thing. He came in with a nice little bubblegum suit. In my opinion, I liked it. It was fresh. I love a man that feels confident in pink. Could have been tailored a little bit different, longer pants, so we had to see his ankles, probably. But again, y'all, 25. We also have Sean Raphael. He is 27 from California and works in sale. He gives like the laid back energy compared to like everyone else. He seems pretty calm, but calm soon erupts. So we'll see what that do. And then we have Zach Giorgio. I'm probably chopping that man's last name up. He's 24, and Zach is Charlie to me because he is actually Charlie from last season's of Love Island's younger brother. Now I will say though, Zach don't look like Charlie. Zach look good, y'all, and he look a little bit taller. So you add on looking good and the height, a win's a win. So we'll see what Zach bring in, if see if he lasts longer than his brother. Next we have Sincere that arrived. He's 26. And he might be, I could see him being a fan favorite. He has a lot of energy. He reminds people of Little Fizz from B2K. He just seems like that cheesy guy. But, girls, a lot of girls like that. So let's just hope the name, he can stick to that in reality. And then we have Bryce. He's 23. He works in finance, and he also models. And something about Bryce is just not clicking for me. Like, I need Bryce to get a haircut or something. I don't know. It's giving Twilight. It's giving Edward, in my opinion. Y'all can let me know in the comments how y'all feel about Bryce. He does seem laid back and chill. He does seem like a nice guy. But I want to see the real. Like, I don't feel like in this episode I got to see the real Bryce. Now, would this be Love Island if we wasn't swapping spit on the first episode? We can't even get through the basics of what is your middle name, your birthday, where you from, you got siblings. Producer said kiss now. So they have their first little game challenge, I guess, to test chemistry, whatever, a reason to kiss. I watch this show every season, and every season I feel no different about all this kissing that they doing and swapping spit. It's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I feel like we were all 21, so we were all 22, 23, 24, 25. I, in my personal opinion, ain't slob on lips with multiple people at once ever. And I don't know who behind the camera or who in the director's chair has a need to see this every freaking season. I wish the kisses would be more natural and more intentional than just like, oh, we in a challenge, let's kiss around and see how everybody's feeling. But that's what they did. So they played this little challenge game where the girls were on one side of the door, the guys were on the other side of the door. There was a question, you stood behind the door for whatever answer. Whoever was behind that door, you got to kiss. Yeah, like I said, typical Love Island stuff. And then this eventually led into the final thing, which was pairing up as a couple. So this season, it was done a lot differently. The guys again stood on one side of the door, the girls stood on the other side of the door, and the girls got to stand behind the door of the guy's name that they wanted to couple up with. Then the guys got to open that door. You either have one person there. If you're there with one person, that's who you're coupled with. You're coupled with. You got to also, if you had two people behind your door, the guys got to pick which out of the two. And then if you didn't have nobody behind your door, it's default. Go sit on the couch, and whoever don't get picked, that's gonna be your shorty. So they made it quick, but y'all, we about to get into these couplings, cause child, I I got feedback. So we see here every guy, every girl got to be paired up, whether it was by choice or by default. A lot of these make sense. A lot of them are leaving a lot of questions in my head. I don't I just and I get it, it's first impressions. No one had the time. They're strictly only going off of the answers that were given on during the challenge, and I guess whoever you like kissing the most. Which is a horrible way to pick. Because you don't get any, you know, death from, or you don't get any explanation of why someone chose what answer. Like, it's just, child, let's get into it. All I can do is shake my head. Trinity and Bryce was our first coupling. Trinity was the only girl that stood behind Bryce's door. Did I expect this? I did not. I did not see this coming. Others that I've watched with, they seen it. I missed it. Because what do you see in this man? I don't know. I didn't even see any chemistry between them during the challenge, the game. Child, it gave wanting to be Alandria and Nick 2.0, and it's not giving that. It's giving point two. Like, this, I don't think is going to obviously work out, in my personal opinion. I just didn't see it. We learned later on in the episode that he actually has hesitancy with her because, again, she's our youngest here. This is Trinity, the 22-year-old, and he's 29. So he's, in my opinion, I think is an excuse, but maybe slash a good reason. He's concerned for how young she is, that she may not be ready. You know, he may be more mature, which could be very much true, or she's not your type. And that could also be true. And I'd rather people on this freaking show be honest and just say that. So this was the first pairing. Y'all let me know down in the comments. What are your thoughts here? Next, we have Beatrice and Sean. Remember, Beatrice is the Paralympian, and Sean is actually a cop, but I don't know if it's currently an active cop status, because words on the street is he put in for leave before he went on the show. Leave got denied, and he still went on the show, and I don't think he got a job anymore. So I don't know if he's an ex-cop, or I don't know nothing about how that transfers over. If you go, anyways, they paired up, they coupled, and he had a heart on for her. He was set on her when it was kissing and making out. She was the only one behind his door. He was very, very much pleased. And yeah, I mean, I could see it. I guess I can see it a little bit. What y'all think about this? Like, I mean, they look cute together. It's just something. I can't put my finger on it. It's just something that's just like missing. Or it could just be, he's more into her than she is into him, and it to me it could be clear. And maybe that's what it is. But hey, day one coupling. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about these two. Next, we have Melanie and Sincere. Now, Sincere actually had two ladies behind his door. He had Miss Melanie here and then also Anaya, but he wound up just choosing Melanie. And these two, it's the aesthetic, right? Like you can like look at them and like, okay, yeah, they go together real bad. But sometimes when it start off like that, it don't end like that. We've seen it time and time again on Love Island. And he seems like a sweetheart. She seems like a cool girl. She's also Dominican too, so she got a little flair to her. Remember, she's the Philly girl. But I don't know, y'all. Like, it could be too good to be true because they look so good together. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they look kind of related, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, no, we can talk about it now because he's actually from Jersey. So he's from Jersey. She's from Philly. I believe he said his dad is from Philly as well. She's from North Philly. Again, I don't know where. I didn't see or hear no Philly in her, but I know there are a lot of Dominicans over there. So that could be true. So they both have that similar interest of being or having family in that Philadelphia area. They're both Eagles fans. Go Birds. So this could possibly work out. But part of me is saying it's gonna take one bombshell for him to turn his head, in my opinion. I just get that vibe from him. Like I sincere, he has a lot to live up to his name, but I just don't see this is it for him. I don't know. He gives Playboy vibes to me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Next, we have Kenzie and Zach. And Kenzie was the only one behind Zach's door. So that's who he was, that was his only option to couple up with. Yeah. Like I said earlier, Kenzie has a lot of energy this first episode. And I'm wondering, and I'm also hoping that that energy does kind of slow down. Like, I think the wide eyes, the wide smile, it's excitement, of course, so I empathize with that, but it could also be too much. And I think for him, he just seems like a very laxed dude. It may be too much, in my opinion. It may be too much, and he may want to flip. That's the concern. Like it's cool to be excited, but like you gotta know the personality that you're dealing with. So we'll see about these two. Again, we didn't get much from this beginning stages of them choosing their couple, because all they did was freaking swap spit. But I don't know. These two, they don't look too promising to me. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And lastly, we have Anaya and KC. KC actually didn't have anybody behind his door. And Anaya, again, was behind Sincere's door, but he chose Melanie. So these two were defaulted in place together. And it makes sense. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, hello? Those who know. Those who don't, oh well. Like, come on. Like, what we doing it? Like, what we doing? Now, romantic chemistry, probably not there. Friendship vibes, heavy on that. So we'll have to see. I know my man was feeling hurt though when nobody was behind that door. I was feeling for him. I was like, dang, he just looks sad. And I get it. Like, to open your door, he had his bubble gum suit on, like, and nobody was there. Sucks. Yeah, but I'm giving this being a friendship couple. It will really surprise me if there is anything more coming from these two. So, of course, after the coupling, people break off. Everybody's learning about each other more. What people want for breakfast the next day, because in true Love Island fashion, the men usually cook breakfast while the ladies are getting ready, so they're getting their orders ready and prepped. But there are a lot of discussions going on that have a lot of people second guessing or second thinking their current coupling. Let's get into that. So Anaya not necessarily questioning her coupling, but she did advise or give KC some tidbit information of her father being a former NFL player, and the way that man's eyes lit up, it was like, oh, which I, in my personal opinion, like stuff like that, I wish you would like kind of hold close, because you don't know what people's real intentions are after you disclose some information like that. Like we don't know what anybody's intentions are right now currently when you come onto this show, because this is a platform. So I do, in my personal opinion, wish she would have kept that to herself. Maybe down the line when she's actually had established relationships with people, give that information. But I don't know. I don't see why there was a rush to say it. And it can either help her or harm her. And I hope he doesn't take advantage of that. So that was just something I wanted to highlight in this episode between them. But they eventually went to the photo booth, they kissed. We gonna see. I'm still not convinced. Zach is so handsome to me. He just looks like a Disney prince. But Zach is now also having some second thoughts about his coupling. Cause like I said, all that energy could be a lot for people. And I think that may be the case here for Zach. I don't know. I think the way Kenzie's energy is, it doesn't necessarily match his. And he may be over it that quick, which in a sense, I mean, I get, because it's not like they got to do the choosing. You literally got chose up with whoever stood behind your door. So again, I don't see the connection between these two. He's expressing that. And it sucks for Kenzie, because she seems to really, really like him and really be into him. So hopefully he stays honest about his feelings. Another person that's having some doubts is Beatrice. So during her conversation with Sean, they dive more into his current, lifestyle. So Sean earlier introduced to the entire group that he's actually a father. He has a 2-year-old son. Yes, a 2-year-old son. And Sean's been bouncing around from city to city, and I believe he relocated to where his son is. And to Beatrice, I don't think her dating someone with a child was in her forecast. And that's okay, right? Like, people can have their preferences of how and who they want to date. But I think that's going to suck for him, because obviously you can see in this episode, Sean is really, really into her. But look, if having kids is a deal breaker, let that be known. Please tell that man fast. I mean, kudos to him, and him not being like someone else last season who wanted to wait to the last minute to let people know that they were a parent. Because I think it is important for people to know straight on that, hey, if you're gonna be down for me, you got to be down for this as well. So her response to it doesn't surprise me. It's common. Some people just aren't with that, and that's okay. So I hope she doesn't feel like she's obligated to be around and stick with him all because he has a child and he's really into her. All right, so that was day one, but let's get into day two quickly. So the next night, after everybody's doing all they chit chatting or whatever, they start a whole nother thing. Ariana comes in. She tells the girls again to stay on one side of a wall and the guys to stay on the other. And they're like, facing their coupling. There are two colors. There's a green and a red circle on the floor. Each couple had the option to stand on either color. Green meaning, look, I'm good where I'm at. I don't want to go nowhere. Red being, yeah, I'm off this. On to the next. So everybody got to stand on their circle. There were only two couples that that wanted to stay together. And that was Anaya and Casey. They chose to stay together, which love that for them. And then, of course, it was Melanie and Sincere who chose to stay together. Now, this is where it was getting a little spicy. So Beatrice and Sean, of course, Sean stayed green because he really liked Beatrice. Beatrice actually went on the red circle. And then for Kenzie and Zach, Kenzie remained on the green, although she hesitated a little bit. But she stayed on the green, but Zach wound up going on the red circle. And then lastly, Trinity and Bryce, they both actually went to go stand on the red circle. So they both was like, all right, on to the next. So this is what we needed. This is what we came to see, right? This is what we wanted to see. And of course, Love Island wouldn't end the episode without another bomb, and brought in two bombshells into the villa. We have Kata Boss and Gabriel Vasconcelos. Child, I'm chopping these names up. All right, so let's start with Kata. And let me tell you, Shorty knew she knew the assignment. She's from New Hampshire. She came in looking confident. And she was ready, to lock on her sights. She had a bombshell interest, and I loved it. Gabriel, now, this 26-year-old man, I seen the picture of him. So he was originally supposed to be part of the original cast, but they moved him as a bombshell because they kicked off Shorty, because she don't know how to keep her mouth shut. So he came in like a hot tamale, and I knew the girls was gonna trip out. Knew they was gonna trip out, but y'all, this ain't the kicker of why these two ain't just enter in and stand there with Ariana. So they came in, they didn't have to stand next to Ariana. They went and kissed on whoever was standing on a red circle. And child, it was a full make out session. It got really hot. It got really hot, especially Gabriel kissing. I was like, I couldn't stop watching. I don't know about y'all. I just couldn't stop watching. But look, they was loving it. I was loving it. And remember, they were doing this quietly. So the girls don't know on the guy's side who stood on the red circle and who Shorty was kissing. Kenzie had an idea that Zach was over there getting slobbed on, but she ain't really know. And the same thing for the guys. Like, the guys didn't know what girl stood on a red circle and the new guy that came in, who they were kissing on. So remember, Gabriel came in, he got to kiss who he wanted to kiss. He kissed Trinity and Beatrice. They walked off, did their own thing. And Kata came in and she was kissing on Zach and Bryce. So, child, it's finna get spicy. And that's how the episode ends. Like, we don't even know. Oh, they went off to like a bungalow, it looked like, which we'll see in the next episode of what that turns into, and people realizing, oh, like, dang, we not really rocking the way I thought we was rocking once they see their other couple has left. So this was a good behind episode. Was it slow in the beginning? Of course, I expect that, but producers did what they needed to do towards the end. All right, y'all, that is my recap of Love Island season 8, episode 1 for the US, child. Overall, this might actually be chaotic, and honestly, that's what I want. I don't know about y'all. Let me know now in the comments, who are you rooting for? Who is overrated? And which couple are you already calling fake? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back, because you already know we're recapping everything here on InDFlix. I'll see y'all in the next one.